Welcome to the season overview of Sustainable Living podcast. This season has been an incredible journey where we have explored the world of sustainability and highlighted the best practices of companies present in Promenada Mall. From beauty to wellness to education and women's health, we have covered a diverse range of industry, both locally and globally, to promote sustainable living. Together, we have discovered how businesses can actively contribute to reducing their environmental footprint and creating a more sustainable society. Today, I have the privilege of exploring the importance of sustainability with Magdalena Gibney, Sustainable Global Manager for NEPI Rockcastle. Magdalena, welcome to the podcast. Well, it's good to see you again, actually.
Thank you, Nicolata. It's good to be here.
It's important to recognize that sustainability is no longer a niche concept, but a global imperative. What, in your opinion, are the reasons why sustainability is currently being discussed in all industries?
Well, maybe I'll start with some numbers. So approximately 36% of greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union are directly or indirectly associated with real estate sector. And given the EU Green Deal target to reach net zero by 2050, the real estate owners are under a lot of pressure to become more sustainable. Therefore, the sustainability, ESG, carbon neutral, net zero, and so on are, on everyday terms for many businesses. And many businesses are trying to reduce, renew, or deliver meaningful sustainable changes. I also have to mention that there is a lot of directives coming from European Union, and therefore, all the companies will have to report at a certain stage. For example, our company will have to start reporting in accordance to CSRD from next year. We already are reporting, but this is like something that we are willing to do. And we do because we are also a listed company. But sustainability is not only something that we have to do, but also it's good to do. We all see why. I mean, seeing the climate changes nowadays, it's very visible.
Actually, the entire world is under this heat wave. In the days that we are speaking, in many countries around Europe, we have like 40 degrees and so on. So it's a very current, at least the climate change is a topic that we have to be aware of. And also coming back to our podcast, it's worth mentioning that the collaboration with Promenada Mall as our season partner has been very important in showcasing the efforts of companies like Sephora, DM, Kiehl's, or Simonas. And their commitment to sustainable practices has set an inspiring example, right, for other businesses, and has demonstrated the positive impact that can be achieved through collective action. Why it is important to have tenants as partners in the sustainability journey?
I think there is two aspects that has to be taken into consideration. First one is our common agenda between landlord as the owner of the building and manager in the case of NEPI, in the case of Promenada, and also tenant who, and the importance of working together on creating more sustainable operations and spaces via green leases, and via green lease, which is a commercial lease, including landlords and tenants' obligations, aimed to ensure that the premises are occupied and managed in a sustainable way. We as landlords and you as tenants, if I might say that, we are all on the same boat. And in the end of the day, we can't improve what we cannot measure. Therefore, also digitalization is one of the priorities for NEPI, and we measure the performance of the building. We measure the performance by collecting the consumption data from the buildings, and without the tenants, we cannot actually see the overall picture. And by the tenants, I mean if we are not collecting the data also from the tenants' premises, we cannot see the overall pictures and how we are actually impacting environment. So making the list on the green area, let's say, is seen as challenging for us as a landlord and for the tenants. There is no legal backgrounds between lease agreements. Therefore, we are trying to do as much as we can in order to get the tenants on the boat, to get on the same boat, and work together for making the building more efficient and bringing up the standards that we need to have. Also certain actions together by landlord and by the tenants. We need to use renewable energy. We need to reduce the water usage and water wastage. We need to manage also the waste in more efficient way, and making sure that there is not so much waste going to landfill. And we need to also ensure to adhere to circular economy and reuse as much as possible. Therefore, we cannot do it by ourselves. We have to do it with the tenants, because we are all common occupier of the same building. Another aspect is also our customers, but maybe we will touch upon that a bit later.
Because I was going to ask you about NEPI sustainability objectives, because NEPI's commitment and presentation of sustainability practices through Promenada Mall and through this project is remarkable. But what are NEPI's sustainability objectives?
So we have set certain targets on the group level, and of course Promenada is one of the assets that we are assessing the performance of. And the targets are mid to long term. We measure the progress of those targets on an annual basis. The targets are increased energy efficiency, which we do via implementation of certain measures to reduce consumption of the energy. We produce our own renewable energy, which we did by installation of the solar panels on the roof of Promenada. Increase recycling rates of the waste produced in the mall, which we do via implementation of waste segregation process and management of the waste, and also progress to fulfill the target of zero waste to landfill. We are implementing measures to reduce emissions from operations by implementation of renewable electricity that we use, and also we are certifying our buildings. Promenada recently has received certification from the certification body BREEAM on the level of excellent, which confirms also contribution to greener cities. The recent certification was carried out under version 6, which is very stringent and very climate change related. I need to mention here that enhancing of greener spaces in the city, also by having the wonderful green roof in Promenada, can be enjoyed by the local communities. Also, we are organizing different sort of concerts and different events on the green roof for the visitors to enjoy.
We believe that by discussing sustainability topics and sharing best practices from companies like those present in Promenada Mall, we can contribute to a more educated and empowered customer base. So how do end consumers benefit in terms of knowledge and informed choices, not only through this project also, but what are other activities that are focused on reaching this objective, to have a more informed customer?
We are organizing certain events in Promenada as well. We had events educating the customers about how to recycle waste in a more efficient way, for example. We also are educating our customers of how to reduce water and how to reduce consumption in the end of the day. So trying to implement the educational initiatives in our malls. But I think also here we are trying to go together with our tenants into the same agenda, because the customers are more sustainability oriented these days. They are more conscious. They are getting more conscious. And also the decisions for purchasing also has evolved during the recent years, and also awareness of environmental impact is much higher nowadays, also because of the availability of the information, but also because a lot of people are talking about it, so there is a lot of information available in the space. And we try to strive to reach also the target of educating our customers, and also, like I said, having tenants on board in order to offer more sustainable products, and also for the customers to purchase more locally. That is also something that we are striving for. And there was a recent study done by Capgemini in 2023, confirming that 41% of consumers globally say that they are willing to pay more for the products which they perceive to be sustainable. So I think it's good for all of us to become more sustainable in our operations, but also for the tenants to sell more sustainable produced products.
I would like to discuss more about the partnerships and about the importance in engaging suppliers in the sustainability journey of NEPI. How do you see on the long term this kind of involvement and engagement with the tenants?
Well, with the tenants, maybe not so much, because the tenants are having their own supply chain, let's say. And within NEPI, we are implementing green assessment forms and also green clauses, sustainable clauses into the contracts with our suppliers. So again, we are trying to get our supply chain on board with our sustainability journey. So we are trying to implement, like I said, the clauses into sustainability contract. When we are having a tender, when we are actually requesting certain service suppliers to come on board and work with NEPI, we are assessing them from the ES and G perspective, and again making sure that they are on the sustainability journey as well.
How challenging is for NEPI to reach its objectives on short term and on longer term?
How challenging?
Is it challenging? I mean, you have to adapt to different countries. We are now talking about Romania, but let's think that NEPI is a global company, and there is a difference, right, from one market to another. So
we are present in 9 different countries, so nine different legal perspectives and 9 different jurisdictions.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So that's obviously challenging, because, for example, for the renewable electricity that we can produce, I wouldn't say easy, but easier in Romania. This is more difficult in Poland because of the law and because of different constraints by the law. I'm not even talking about the sun availability, because obviously that's in Romania a bit more available than in Poland. Yes, so it's challenging, but we have sustainability embedded in our business strategy. So we are also trying to engage our internal stakeholders, all our internal departments, to work in a more sustainable way and have the sustainability in the back of their mind when they are making their own business processes. And also for budgeting processes, we are also trying to implement the ESG aspect and also the sustainability categories. So we are also looking into finances as well. But yes, it is all challenging. But despite the challenges, we should do it, because otherwise, we will not reach our goals, first of all, but also, we will not stop the adverse effect of the climate change.
As we conclude this season, it's important to reflect on the progress we have made and challenges that lie ahead. That's why I was asking you about the challenges that you had to face, and probably it will come further. Thank you so much for joining us in this remarkable season of Sustainability Podcast. And let's take these insights with us as we continue our journeys towards a more sustainable future. Thank you, Magda.
Thank you, Nicoleta.